And it's looking pretty good, though this way yet. But I'm assuming we will start seeing some traffic up this road at some point. It's also not generating any of its own traffic, which is quite weird. There's a little bit of traffic now coming in there. That's good. That is good. It's filled in quite nicely. So I'm liking it with the ore, and even up on the hill, up towards the hill there, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So now, whether we're going to see some traffic come here is the interesting piece. Hopefully we will. Hopefully we'll see some rail traffic in here also. Does this thing work though? I'm just wondering. I'll have to keep an eye. If it doesn't work, I'll have to just use the standard one. Which is okay. It's also okay. It is also okay. So none of this has done anything just yet. We haven't seen anybody come in this direction yet. Everybody's just going to the port. No one is actually driving the way up here. If I look at that, all of that is actually sufficient, right? And it is connected. Oh, you know what? I could actually do an extra one in here and tie it in over there. Yeah, I could do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Switch that off. Let's just do that. Okay. Okay, so now let's quickly do the move it piece over here. So, oof. Not quite. Not quite. That's pretty intense. Pretty steep and intense over there. Can we please start dropping down some of this stuff a little? Yeah, that looks much better. It's still a little weird. Ah, there we go. Now that's better. Okay. And like that, and something like so. There we go. So there's at least an extra. Oh, there goes a truck and some extra stuff. Yes, excellent. So now you can at least get into both directions and get out either that way or this way to some extent. Oh, we've got our first little thing arriving and some cars coming. Seeing some cars over here. Yes, there's a car whooshing its way up there. Excellent. From all the way, I don't know where. But anyway, there you go. That is filled in. Let's quickly have a look at the rest of this. Aha. So that is pretty much the ore component of it. Now, so the ore component of it is pretty much covered over here now. So now I'm thinking, let's do a little bit of forestry right next to it over here. So in order to do the forestry, I'm thinking we're going to have to get rid of this. Let's pause it for a second while we get rid of this. So I can actually run the road over the top over here. And you, okay, straight over the top there. So if we do something like that, oof, that is tight. Okay, so that's straight over the top there. Now, okay, now let's do a little bit of a straight section through there. Okay, the other one we're going to do is I'm going to run, and this one I'd rather put in like that, and we'll do a little something over here. Ooh, it's not the one I'm after actually. Let's just quickly get the right things in here. So something like that, and now let's get that going like so, and then let's tie them in over there. Yeah, there we go. So now this piece we can actually run. Oh, hang on. Can I just get rid of that piece and say please go straight over. At the same time, I could probably drop this one down a little. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's quickly connect the power. Excellent. So now this section on this side, we can do some forestry industry over here. Actually put on the ground, and let's do a little bit of that. There we go. So that'll be a bit of forestry, and we can actually link it into this side here. And we'll connect that up. So let's just keep everything going while we do a bit of that. Yeah, so this one will run straight through and allow you to get to the other side, or onto this one. So that could get pretty busy, I must say. Oh no, don't pause it. I'm still pretty keen on whether I'm going to see some rail go this way. Be pretty keen to see that. But yes, so we're struggling a little bit with getting people over here, and I'm almost tempted, but now if I do a little bit of residential along this section over here, I'm gonna need a better way to connect it. We are starting to see the traffic come in over here. But yeah, this will be a bit of driving traffic. Excellent. But anyway, we've got all of this infrastructure to want to pull that. We could also do a little bit of residential up on here at some point, and maybe do an extra one. But what I'm keen on doing is actually getting a bit of a a highway to run. Actually, what we could do is we could tie in over there. We could run this one around and tie in there. That's actually going to be the best. So let's have a quick look at this. So if we purchase that tile right over there, we can skirt it around over here and build an interchange there. That, I think, is going to be pretty cool. So that means everybody can actually start making a shortcut into this direction. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's do that. Let's start the planning over here. Okay, so 3 lanes. 3 lanes is going to run here, go up there. How's our topography looking? Just so we have a quick view of that. Which one is it? This one. How's our topography looking? We can go up here, cut it a little bit, go over there and tie in over that side. I think that's looking pretty good if we do that. Yeah, that's going to be a decent one. I just want us to build a pretty decent interchange here if we do that. So how much time do I have left in this episode? Still plenty of time. So let's build an interchange over here. Actually, let's lay out the road first using the ParallelRoadTool. And I'm going to run the whole thing with service road. Okay. So what I'm going to do is switch on the parallel road tool, and we'll say, do me one of those, a highway ramp. Then do me one of these ones. Okay. No. Okay, so actually you're adding to the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 of these, 3 lanes, and a highway ramp, and then we've got a highway ramp on this side. Okay, so let's just switch off all of these things so we'll see. Okay, so we want this one to be 20, then 52, whoops, 52, and then 72, and these 2 are going to be turned around. Okay, so now, and we're going to want to do some of this stuff. So yeah, it's fine. We can delete as much of that as we want to. Let's start it by making sure we tie in into that direction. And again, our 3-lane highway is now up in the air. Okay. Okay, and that is about how we're going to tie this thing in. So what we'll do is we'll just disconnect there, and we'll run it in that way. So how's that look? It's pretty decent, though I'm not a fan of the fact that we've built bridges everywhere. So let's switch that one off. We'll go for this thing, and we'll go and just put these down on the ground. Okay, not too sure why that happens, but it's not the end of the world. The fact that these roads are lying next to each other is the coolest thing. So there we go, and all the way back. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I'm also tempted to start running the same thing over here and the same thing through there, because that'll allow us to tie ramps into service roads and create a superhighway. A superhighway, yes, a superhighway. Okay, pause it. Okay, get rid of all of this. Actually, even pull those back. Can't go out of there though. So that, okay, now let's do, go there, go up parallel road, yeah? And what we're going to do is we're going to do that. Nice. Similarly, we're going to do the same thing over here, and we're going to build a pretty decent interchange here. Nice, I like it. There we go. So that is pretty huge stuff that we've just gone and done over here. Okay, that's going to be cool. That is going to be very cool. Okay, let's fix this one first. Put that one back down on the ground. Okay, and do that. Okay, same here. Put that on the ground. Okay, now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to run the main line over the top. Okay, so main line. And you don't need to, oh yeah, absolutely, get that going at 9, all right? Don't snap. Switch off the snapping. At 20, we get it about in the middle. So let's just do okay, and similarly on this side we want to do and now potentially what we need to do is let's do a bit of that. There we go. Nice. Now let's tie that down. Good stuff. That's a good start. We'll do that, and we'll do that, and that's a good start there too. And now we've got the makings of our interchange over here. We obviously will do a fair bit of move it stuff going on over here. So I'm keen on going from this service road so this one okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I want to do something pretty substantial here. So let's and how high is that? That's not nearly high enough, is it? Okay, so this thing, hang on. Is that high enough? Not quite. Shall we do this? Yeah. Then we're going to start dropping that. Yeah, for that one. Okay, so let's leave that over there for now. Oh, and we've lost our... Okay, that's not good. Anyway, this thing, we're going to do the same thing over here. So let's get up and something like... Where exactly did that go? Oh, hang on. So if we do something like that... Okay, and something like that. We're gonna sort all of that out now. So this is going to be our ramps. So that we can do a pretty decent ramp into that direction too. Then on this side, I'm gonna do. Oof. Yeah, we could do one that goes, yeah, absolutely, that's pretty decent. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Good stuff. Now let's see, let's get move it to start working for us over here. Oh no. Yeah, so we're going to need some form of, there it is. Actually, let's redo that piece. So there we go. So that's kind of what we're after, right? So let's see if we can sort out, there we go. We can, no, undo. If we can sort out some of that, right? Okay, so what I'm now thinking, right, I should move this one here, right, that one there, and, ooh. Well, we'll move that one. So it's something like that, right? Can even go there. It can even go there. I'll fix it, but that, and that means this thing. Ooh, what's going on over here? That means this thing. We need to start moving all of this. So that we can get that to work. Excellent, look at that. How's that? That's low. That's very low. So let's bring that up a bit. Again, over here, we'll need to bring that up a bit. And potentially here we'll need to bring this up a bit. Okay, so that's a good starting point for our directional ramps. I'm going to need to bring this forward, that forward, and this one forward, so that we can actually, I'm going to need to bring that back a little. So that we get a fairly smooth curve over there. Yep. Nice. So there's our directionals. This is still a little sick. Still a little bit sick over here. Do that. That's pretty good. Now what we can do is we can do a little bit of this, just to make sure that we get our curves right. Now look at that. How's that for a pretty decent this thing is of course in need of a little bit of love in terms of that thing. So let's just copy that. Just so that we've got that going, so at least it seems like there are pillars in place where we need pillars in place. So there we go. How's that for directional ramps? I like it. Now the next thing we're going to do, and we've got 5 more minutes in this episode left. The next thing I want to do is we obviously want to run through that way, but first things first, we're going to get our clover over here. So on this one, Okay, so now let's see how we're going to do this clover thing. Ah, see, there's the problem. So let's just run a straight line through there. Okay, that's what we want to do, and we want to tie those two together. So move it over here, and what we'll do is we will tie those two together like so. Yeah, that's what we want to do. And this and this and that. Yeah, that's okay. So that's going to work. So all we need to do is then tie that in over there. Perfect. So now let's get a little bit more working on this thing. On this piece of clover here. So if we take that out a little bit. There we go. How's that? Almost done. There we go. That's going to be our clover right here. We'll go underneath there and move its way into here. Yeah. Ooh. Now that's not quite where I wanted. We'll do that, and there we go. So that's our clover. Right, we can do the other one on the outside over here, tie them together, tie that together, and tie it in. And we also, so that's what we're going to do. We also want to do a clover on this side. So we'll do a very similar thing over here. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do that. Okay. Good, let's move it around a little, up a little more. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll do straight line. Straight line through here. That is high enough. So we'll move that a little closer. So let's move it, and we'll, oops, shift, and we'll move everything a little closer to that. And yeah, that's about it for us. Can't get it closer than that. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to tie okay, so now we've tied those in. We're going to tie this one in. And now we can work on this clover. Okay, so what we can do is we can start moving these things a little bit to get them a little bit closer to where they want to be. Right, that's about right. Same time, I want to get this thing pretty close. Okay, so how does that look and feel? It feels okay. Is that about similar size? No, we need to bring in this one a little. Okay, let's try and bring it back a little over here as well. Do a little bit of that. So we'll bring that in. Bring that in. A little like that. How's that? How is that? That is pretty fine. Pretty fine. I'm not sure I'm loving. Anyway, that's fairly close though. It's fairly close. Let's try bringing it in a little bit more. By doing a little bit of that, we could bring it in a tiny bit more. There we go. There we go. So that's pretty decent. Now we just need to bring in these ones around the sides. And to be honest, we probably don't need this. We probably don't need the service road over here. We could just use the other one. So that makes a lot of sense over here. So if we do the same thing over here, now we've got a little bit more room to play with. So if we do that, okay, and we do a similar thing over here, we do that, now we can actually bring these a little closer. Something like that. There we go. And at the same time, we should be able to start dropping them down a little. So like that. And then like that. This is maybe a little bit much. Maybe a little much, maybe a little much. There we go. And then maybe that's a little much over there, and then we can drop that down a little more. So that's okay. Now let's quickly do a similar thing over here. So let's see if we actually it's probably okay as it is, and we're gonna need to run that one around here also. So let's grab this. Okay, so that's a good starting point for the tie-in over here. The tie-in on this side. Something like that. Okay. The tie-in over here. Maybe that's not quite what I had in mind. Let's bring that back a little and make sure we actually do that the right way. No, go up. Okay, so something like that. Okay, now let's run this thing down. Oh, I didn't even know I unpaused it. My goodness. Okay, a little something like that as a starting point. Let's quickly tie these in. Okay, I'm going to clean all of that up. Do that. Let's tie this in. Tie that in. And that's the only one that's... Oh, actually, we still need to do a little bit of this. Okay, so let's... tie that one in, and then we'll run this thing over here. No, don't do that. Just on 0, please. Up 1 level. There we go, something like so, and that is a pretty huge interchange. And yes, it's probably about time for us to put a cut in this episode. So what I'll do is I'll just try and tidy it up a little bit by making sure that it is a nice tight interchange like so. That's good. On this side, probably get a little closer like that. Oops, and a little closer over here. Something like that. That's pretty good. Nice, that is pretty good over there. Those I like. Haven't spent a lot on this yet, so let's see if we can try and get that a little closer and tighter over here. Nice, I like that. That looks pretty good over there. Can we pull that one forward a little? And if we do a little bit of this, we might get, in fact, make that a little easier. Excellent, that one looks pretty good. Now let's quickly shape this a little bit better. Okay, way too many of these points for me to manage, so the curve is looking funny. Yeah, this is a bit of a nightmare one on this side. Bring that forward a bit. Bring this one a little bit out. Excellent. So that'll at least work, though I think it's a little over the top. This one, I think this one needs to be redone quickly. I'm going to quickly do that as a final thing, just so that we've got it done. It's just too much. It's just too much. Okay, let's start again. So we want to do a little something like that, a little something like this, and a little something like that. That's how it'll look. That's how it should look. And now what we can do is now we can see how we can squeeze this a little closer over here. Excellent. Excellent. There we go. Now that is a pretty decent interchange. Look at that. So now this is a super duper interchange that's going to link up onto this side, and we will continue that in the next one. Oh, let me quickly just tie in all of these as a final point. Probably a little tough to tie them in as that. Okay, so let's do something like that, something like this. Grab the mover tool ever so slightly, like so. That's gonna sort it out. Now let me get this thing going on, something like that. This is a bit of a bummer. What's going on over here though? Let's trim all of that back, okay, and then let's build it from there. Why? Oh, there's the similar thing on that side going on over there. Anyway, I'm going to leave that for now, and what we'll do is we'll just tie it in over here. Okay, and we'll move it out of the way a little. So, yeah, there we go. Tied in. That'll need to be fixed into the future, but now it actually works, and we can tie these in over here. And we probably, to be honest, just what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that and cut that, and we'll tie these in. That is crazy. Can we just quickly put that down, tie that one in over here? What we're going to do is we're going to take that one out, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, and there we go. So there we go. Excellent. Interchange up and running. What's going on over there? Those two aren't tying in. These need to tie in on this side, but we will do that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, if you like our brand new interchange, please hit that button, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.